Um, Thank you for joining us for this session today. So on this call, we've got myself, Katie MacDonald, the president of the Sports Union at Edinburgh this year, and we also have Kevin Wright, who is our fitness and wellbeing manager with Sport and Exercise. So our intention today is to give you a bit of a whistle-stop tour of all the ways that you can get active while you study with us here at Edinburgh, and just kind of an overview of the different programs and different levels that involves. So I'll now pass over to Kevin, who's going to take you through the kind of getting active at Edinburgh background information and some of the ways you can get involved.
Hello everyone, can you hear me okay from this? Just checking if you can pop a wee note into the chat bar, that would be great. Perfect. So guys, just what we're looking to do here is just give you a little overview of everything that's going on. One of the key things that we're looking to do here is, like it says on the slide, is support sport and activity from every level, and that is everything from the active for life level, which is just your day-to-day being more active, walking, transport, and just being physically active and spending less time sitting, all the way through to personal fitness, which you've already heard about earlier on today, or if you haven't, you can pop on and look at the recording for that, through to recreational sport, which is taking part in sport for fun, and then all the way through to that high performance and performance level sport where you're looking to compete. First thing I want to do is just go through what it is that you can do in terms of keeping active. So my section just now is literally around physical activity and helping you be a little bit more active and letting you know some of the ways that you can be more active whilst at the university. So there's a few different things that we're looking to give you opportunities with, but the key message is just be active and move more through every day. Try and find time within your day to be more active. There's a couple of different ways. First is formal. That's like your gym, joining the gym, going to the group exercise classes and the yoga and the workshops and the courses that we have going on, and the sport. Informal is just physical activity. That is you getting around between campuses or between your classrooms. It's running, it's walking, it's cycling, it's dance, and it's just being generally more active. Again, one of the things that we have on offer, which will be starting back later on in the year, is our SPA program, which is our supporting physical activity program. And the aim here is just for, if you're really not too sure what to do, but know that you want to be more active, you can get in touch with this and with the group there, and the guys will be able to help you out with that. And what we're aiming to do here is support those who are not yet active in the process and help them to become more active and just find ways within their day that they can do more and move more. This is also going to be helpful for them in terms of finding friends and things. So next thing is why, and I want to touch, like I said there, about finding friends and sort of being more connected with people. The best way to get a sense of university and a sense of belonging is to connect with others during your time at uni, and one of the best ways to do that is through sport and physical activity. Through the Scottish Active Student Survey and the British Active Student Survey, we found a number of key things in this. We looked at students who were active and students who weren't active and sort of looked at what the trends were. And one of the things that we found was active students were more employable. Active students had a higher level of both personal and mental well-being. And there's a strong body of evidence to show that being physically active and being involved in exercise and sport will help mediate how you feel and help you feel better generally. The other big thing that we found is that the students who were most active had the best sense of belonging and inclusion within the university. And another key thing within this is just by being more physically active, taking less public transport and using less machines and cars and things to get around, it's much, much more sustainable. So whatever level you're being involved in, just know that doing something is always better than doing nothing, and just finding little pockets of time within your day is always going to be a massive benefit to you in terms of both how you feel and in connecting with other people. So how can you do that? Well, it's simple. Just think about your day and just think about ways in which you can be more active. So think about the pockets of time where you're spent inactive, whether you're sitting, whether that's in a commute or whether you're studying or wherever it is, and just find ways to be a little bit more active. So again, between campuses, we're strongly encouraging you now to walk and bike or run between campuses rather than taking public transport. physical activity. So like I said, just moving around, doing your daily activity, but doing that using yourself, walking and cycling. Minimize that sitting time. So if you do find you're sitting studying, or you're in the library, try and find little pockets of time each day or within each hour, to stand up and get moving around. The key thing here is just minimizing the time that you're inactive and sat down for. Really simple things like when you're getting in and around, even just within a building, take the stairs rather than going up the lift. Again, like we've said already, is aiming to walk and cycle between campuses and between classes. And if you're going from residences into campus, is just to walk or cycle rather than taking public transport. And again, these formal ways are always still there. So joining the gym, Katie's about to tell you all about how to get involved a little bit more with sports and getting involved with the sports clubs. One of the other things we've got is we've got a University of Edinburgh running community group on Strava. So if you are walking or running or cycling, get involved with that community group, and it's a great way for you to connect with other students whilst you're there. And again, as always, check in with the updates on our Sport and Exercise website. As we gradually open things up and start doing more, you'll see more and more updates about different things that you can get involved in. And again, the baseline with this and the bottom line, as always, is just doing something is better than nothing. So just try and find that little way in which each day you can do a little bit more and be a little bit more active. So from there now, I'm going to pass back over to Katie, and she's going to go through how to get involved in rec sport.
Perfect, thank you so much, Kevin. So yeah, as you can see, there's obviously a huge variety of ways that you can get active with us. So one of the big ways within the sports union side of activity is around recreational sport. So this is where we have one-off sporting events which are open to all. They're free of charge, and there's no experience required. So you can come along and try sport for the absolute first time, but also if you've played maybe at school and you hadn't played for a while, then you can get involved for the millionth time if you've played that sport a lot but you're not sure. So we take these in the form of edX and stress buster events. So Edinburgh experience events, which are basically just club sessions which they open up to non-members of the club to come down and see if they want to get involved. Stress busters are a similar concept, but these take place during the exam diets, so in December and in May, and these allow students to come and escape the library for a little bit and just burn off some steam. Last year we did kind of some one-off sporting tournaments. So we did our Africa Cup of Nations, which was a five-a-side football tournament, and we also had a squash World Cup. So we had a lot of groups of people who entered that just with their friends. I know I entered a team into the Cup of Nations, and we just had a laugh on one Saturday, and it was a very one-off session. So as it says there, no commitment, just a fun study break. Last year, nearly 3,000 students took part in these, so a huge part of our offering. And this year we'll be aiming to run as many as we can within physical distancing constraints and the Sport Scotland guidance. Kind of one step up from recreational sport is around intramural sport. So recreational, you can come along, once off, and you don't need to commit to each week. Intramural, there's kind of the expectation that you'd compete once a week, so weekly leagues in football, netball, basketball, rugby, squash, and hockey. We do actually have 8 sports because there's, for example, 5-a-side football and 11-a-side, and there's also kind of mixed hockey as well. So there's different options there. So this is for people looking to get involved with less of a time commitment. And in 2019-20, we had over 160 intramural teams. So about 2,000 individuals that got involved in this each week across 21 different leagues. Many people do enter a team with those they meet in their accommodation. So perhaps people that you meet at Pollock and you live in the same corridor, it's a fantastic way to get to know them. But equally, people you meet on your course, for example, it might be a fantastic way to get to know them outside of the classroom. And as well, you can just enter a team you can enter by yourself, and our intramural committee can put you into a team. So it's completely okay if you don't have 6 other like-minded friends. I'm sure you will make them if you come along and get involved. And as the name might suggest, intramural is within the university, so it avoids the need for travel that you might have if you were representing the university externally, but it gives you the chance to compete against other teams across different schools and make some friends as well. The last part of our offering is around club sport. So we have 64 different sports clubs ranging from archery, American football and athletics, all the way through to water skiing, windsurfing, wakeboarding, just a huge variety of different sports. Last year we had over 8,000 members, so we were the largest student sport programme in Scotland, with an absolutely fantastic offering, as 64 clubs might suggest. We did finish in 4th place in BUCS leagues, so that's the leagues against other universities across Scotland and in Britain as well. So we'd go down to England as well. But obviously this year activity will be looking a little bit different. I just want to reassure you that in terms of activity, we're following the most up-to-date Sport Scotland guidance, and all club activity will be risk assessed and adhere to all of the guidance that is provided. We'll have quite strict capacity maximums at our sports spaces. So Pleasance, which is our sports centre, centrally with the gym and the climbing wall, and at Peffermill playing fields as well, which are our 3Gs, our hockey astros, and our grass pitches, which is about 15 minutes down the hill from Pollock. So in terms of these sessions, you will have to sign into any session that you might want to come along to this year, and that's just for the purposes of track and trace. And we're doing everything that we can to make sure as much club activity as possible can happen. In terms of the club sport, it will range a lot between different clubs. So for example, women's football, which I was a part of for 4 years, we trained multiple times a week at both Pleasance, the gym, and Peffermill for obviously football sessions, and we did compete on a Wednesday in the BUCS League. Other clubs are a little bit different. For example, rugby and women's hockey, they compete. They train in the week, compete on a Wednesday, and they also compete in local leagues on a Saturday. And then other clubs such as hill walking, mountaineering, they are very much trip focused. So you can just go along, that's usually maybe every second weekend of the semester, and you can go along for trips as well. So it's very flexible around your schedule and what you want to get involved with. The last thing to mention is just around our coaching and volunteering academy. So we've put all the links in the chat there for you to go and have a look at. Thank you very much, Kevin. But our coaching and volunteering academy is for people who might not want to participate in sport, but are really keen to get involved in the coaching or the officiating side of it. Equally, it's open to our club members. So any sports union member can take advantage of the workshops that we run. Last year we did over 100 hours of these. And we also offered funding support for qualifications. So we gave around £6,500 to students to get them qualified in things like first aid, mental health first aid, and also kind of things crucial to club activity, like I mentioned, with the coaching and officiating. Many of our clubs are quite student coach run, so we're always keen to help you improve your employability. So there's kind of that aspect as well to the sports union if maybe some of the other sporting aspects are not so welcoming to you, then we do have options to get involved in that way as well. But overall, our students are very, very excited to welcome you to Edinburgh, whether that's in person or virtually. So with Welcome Week obviously coming up next week, we've got a variety of in-person and virtual activity, again, for people who might not be able to join straight away. So we've got some taster sessions which clubs will be running, and they can all be found on the Welcome Week events app. And we will be having our virtual sports fair, where every club will have a stall, and you can go into each of the 64 stalls. There'll also be stalls for intramural and rec sport as well, and you can speak to any of the clubs through a platform just like this, and you can also register your interest to join the club and to get more information there as well. So that was a bit of a whistle-stop tour of sport, I'm aware, but please do check out all of these social media handles here. So we'd encourage you to check these out, because there'll be a lot of posts coming up. Kevin just put them in the chat there. A lot of posts coming up with Welcome Week. So that's the best way to stay in the loop right now. And there's also the Pleasance Gym ones there on the screen. Again, Pleasance reopened on this Monday just past. So a fantastic way to stay in the loop of how things might look a little bit different this year, but all of the measures that they've put in place to keep you safe as you might want to get active while at Edinburgh. So that's all of the information from Kevin and I. Again, feel free to get in touch on any of these emails here if you've got any questions we didn't answer, or that you maybe want to ask privately. That's completely fine as well. Kevin mans the top two there, and I man the bottom one, the sports union one. So feel free to get in touch with us. And thank you very much for all your time today, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.